Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It's Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 261. On this Friday, we're going to start things off by purchasing a Johnathan team of the season. So I did this real quick after I finished yesterday's episode, which was our rewards. So it was still like Thursday morning, and we picked up Johnathan for 241,000 coins. Now you might think, hey Lasty, that's not too bad, that's alright. He then rose in price to like way over 300k in a couple of hours. It was awesome. Lasty did a good. This is as my HD Gamer would say, today is a very special day. Because Lasty's going to make coins for once in his life. If you do enjoy, and if you are excited that Tom's actually going to make some money, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up button. Surely that's worth 3,000 likes on today's episode. I think it is. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, so you don't miss an episode. So, obviously the team was going to then change from what it was sat at here with Muller and Witsel in there. We're going to have to like stack it with Brazilians, which is fine. It's great. It could be really fun. But I'm also going to miss. I'm going to miss Muller and stuff, but they're going to be on the subs bench and hopefully still making an appearance. So then we make another big purchase at the very start of the episode. It is going to be Lorenzo Insigne. I look at these stats and I see a complete and utter beast that would work on FUT 20, knowing the way that the game is, you know, agility, balance, pace, all of that stuff. I think he's going to be fantastic. So the players are in, and I needed to sort of make adjustments to make the squad fit, and this is what I initially came up with. So it would be Fred coming in, and no matter what we do here, I think Fred is going to have to come in for chemistry reasons, and then he can either come off in the first half for Axel Witsel or Tagliafico or whoever really. Like, we've got lots of options in reality. So yes, that was how I was going to do it, and then I came up with this idea, which would be slightly better chemistry, and knowing that Johnathan's going to be my striker, he would be on 10 chem along with Neymar on 10, and then both Insigne and Douglas Costa can be on 7, and I think that will work just fine. I looked at the in-game stats and stuff of Insigne when I boosted him with the right chemistry style, and on 7 to 10 was like a lot of them already had maxed out at 99, so it just really didn't matter, which is, yeah, absolutely fantastic. So we welcome those two new players to the squad. But it's going to be a little bit, it's not going to be that simple, really. Some things are going to happen throughout this episode, which means that this isn't actually the squad that we're going to go into the weekend league with, at least at the very start, anyway. So I make position adjustments for Johnathan to get him on the right one. I do the same for Insigne. We also need to go out onto the market and pick up a couple of chem styles. From looking on FootWiz, like I had a little idea that I wanted a Maestro for Insigne, and I also wanted an engine for oh no, is it a sniper? Have I ended up going with a sniper? Oh yeah, I've gone with sniper for Johnathan, because that's also going to increase his like agility and balance, and it's just going to top off the shooting stats, and I feel like he's never going to feel like a 99 pace player, so I haven't gone with engine, I've gone with sniper on him. So so yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that anyway. So pretty exciting stuff, really, isn't it? I'm actually quite happy with how the squad's looked out. This wasn't actually like, this is kind of a merging of two different squads that I had in my mind. Because like I said to you in yesterday's episode, I had originally thought that I was probably going to be trying to buy Johnathan and Alex Teixeira, and then when I said that I couldn't afford them, I thought maybe we'll go for Insigne and then link to Alan, and then we get some more like Serie A players in there and stuff like that. So that was kind of like one of the ideas. The other idea, the super cheap idea that I had, if we were to keep in Witsel and Thomas Muller, was to be was to buy Julian Brandt. I was going to buy about 100k's worth of a 90 rated TOTS Julian Brandt, who is maybe a little bit behind the power curve, but he still looks like quite an interesting player and would have been a wide cam solution for us and allowed us to use Thomas Muller again up front this weekend. Would have been quite nice. And again, Axel Witsel, who's one of the best DMs I've got in my club, he would have been in the starting 11 under that regime, but it's not happened, all right, because we've actually I found a solution to buy both Johnathan and Lorenzo Insigne. So the aim is to play Johnathan as a striker, with Insigne out as a wide cam. Whether or not that would stick like that, or whether I would play both of them up front and move Neymar back to a cam, I don't really know. It's going to be one of those like tester weekend leagues again, just like what we had last weekend, where we weren't sure what we were doing with Muller, with Gnabry, and just shifting players around and getting them into the correct position to see what works for the club and what works for the squad when we're in game, was like what we're hopefully going to be doing again this weekend, because you never know, Johnathan might not work as well up front as Insigne would, so we would swap them around at that point and try and make the best out of what we've got. So there's a few SBCs that I want to complete today. One is the Panenka, which is a Champions League based one. It cost me one of my UCL cards. I've literally got like 3 in my club, so UCL marquee matchups is coming tomorrow for you guys, when I finally ended up like sorting that out. It wasn't the easiest thing for me to do, because I try and use the stuff from my club and sometimes I don't necessarily have enough. So from that was a rare Electrum, and I think the last good rare Electrum we had was Lionel Messi, so we never expect to see anything from those anymore. We get a little Libertadores player pop up, but I think there's also a board in there. Yeah, there's a Silicon in there, which will be handy for something, but you kind of hope for a little bit better, and that pack was actually untradeable, so we put all of that stuff in for an untradeable reward. Now, Axel Witsel, a first owner one that I had in the club, not the flashback one that I've got, did eventually sell for 11.5k. It nearly took him the whole hour to actually sell, and I needed that sale to go through because that was going to allow me to buy the final player that I needed to complete an SBC. Now, it's a high rated player. Like, we're buying a Koulibaly at 89 for an 84 rated squad, and that is simply because I had a lot of items in my club that were 82 to 83 rated, and when I was putting it all together, I kept adding that final player to the mix to see what rating I needed. Turns out I would need an 89, but nowadays that's 25k. That's not like 50, 60k like it used to be. And this is a 60, 65k SBC, so to be able to do that by buying a Coman and a Koulibaly, it's actually pretty good. It cost me like 35k in the end, which is I'm absolutely fine with. And we get an Eredivisie or a CSL TOTS guaranteed. All right. And I went into opening this pack. I'm not going to do this one live. I was just like, it was quite early in the day, and I just wanted to get it done because if it made a difference to the squad, we could make the changes then and carry on with the episode. I didn't want this one to be a live episode. And we end up getting ourselves, I'm hoping and praying for Brazil. Oh, but we see Dutch, so we know it's going to be Eredivisie, and it turns out to be the right back from PSV, which is, of course, Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries comes in to our club. 90 rated overall. I think that's a dub. I'm actually going to check right now to see what his price is, because if that SBC cost me like 30 odd K, I don't think he's cheap, right? He's over 100k, so we're good there. You know, that's pretty good. No matter, even if we paid full price for the SBC, we nearly doubled our money by getting a player in Dumfries. Now, I don't know how I'm ever going to use this guy. For now, he's going on the bench. Like I said, I was pretty much hoping and praying to see Brazil to either get Alex Teixeira, Johnathan, or Paulinho, or Hulk, or something like that. Something that would probably, again, change the team, allow me to sell a tradable Johnathan, because I packed him untradeable. So that would have been the dream, but it didn't quite happen for us. Or, of course, I would have loved the Quincy Promes, and when I first saw Dutch, that was obviously where my mind hopefully went for, but it didn't quite happen. But I'm happy with Dumfries. So, next up on the list, we managed to complete a Serie A challenge, which was going to give us an 83 plus player. What that does is it weeds out quite a lot of the rubbish. Like, there's a lot of like 75 to 82 rated players on this game, so we're going to get boards guaranteed, and we actually end up getting a walkout, not a TOTS, but we get ourselves the centre mid from Juve, or from Piemonte Calcio, however you want to say it. It is going to be Miralem Pjanic, 86 overall. So for submitting that little squad there, I've managed to trade in a team that wasn't really going to do much for a fodder item, an 86 overall. So happy with that as well. What's next on the equation then? I can't remember. There's a lot going on here, really. I think we end up having a little look at the squad and then moving on a little bit. There are other things to be doing as well. So I actually really like the way this looks. I don't like that Fred is in there, if I'm honest. And there is a way for me to change that. But you might need to wait a little bit of time for that change to occur. But one thing happened whilst in the couple of hours that I had owned Johnathan. He'd absolutely skyrocketed in price. When do I ever make coins? I made the decision to sell him without ever playing a game, with the intention of the full intention of I'm going to buy him back. But I saw an opportunity to actually make money, more money than I would make by playing the weekend league this week, all right? So I sold him for nearly a 100k profit. And that eventually adjusted the team to look like this. And as you can see, the squad name is called For Now. This is the team for right now, all right? We aim to change it as the weekend league goes on. But I actually found a way with this 4-3-2-1 to bring Ilicic in, my new Ilicic, my red player, which actually looks quite good, into the squad instead of Johnathan for now. We'll sell the Brazilian on, J9 as I like to call him. He's a little bit like R9, but he's called Johnathan. So he will be known as J9 in the club when we can eventually get him back. But this was all Thursday, and this was when prices just seemed to keep rising. And there was a little small period of time where Johnathan went up to 350. So I could have made a little bit more. You'll see in a moment that I end up making 335, which, considering we bought it for 241, it's really good. It's really good money to make. And I just anticipate, and I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but with the Ligue 1 TOTS coming tonight for you guys, lightning rounds, loads of packs, new hype players. Maybe these players start to like drop off of people's radar, or they're packed so many more times as they're still in packs until Monday that maybe people want to sell them for a bit less. Maybe Johnathan drops back down under the 300s again and I can pick him up and it will have just been guaranteed profit. That's the aim anyway. Whether or not that happens is all based around his price. If he stays at what I sold him for, I probably won't buy him back for the weekend league. And I'll probably rock with this or see if we can make any other adjustments. But I just think him and Teixeira are super risky players to have at their higher end of their price. Because I just feel like at some point they're going to come crashing down. And if that does happen, I want to be there at that lower point where even if they drop even lower, I want to be there at that point where I can buy them for a decent price and know that we already made like 80 or 90k in the bank beforehand on the player. So that's what we've done. So yeah, we bought Johnathan. We've sold him on. I also went out and did Boga. I did the squad battle stuff for Boga. Actually looks like quite a good player. He's only 3-star, so I don't know if he'll ever really make an appearance. I just literally got him for fodder reasons. He'll be an 89 rated player for an SBC. But for right now, he can happily maybe sit on the bench, maybe sit on the reserves. I'm not sure. I've got lots of players. I've got with Tagliafico and Dumfries coming in this weekend. I've got 2 more fullbacks that I can bring on as substitute CDMs. And you know how much Lasty loves to do that, right? So I've got Axel Witsel. I've got Dumfries and Tagliafico, all players that I want to bring on as a CDM. And then I've got Ryan Kent. I've got, who else in the attack? I haven't got that many. I've got like Thomas Muller and stuff to bring on. Adama Traore, maybe Atal. So I'm kind of set on the bench for now. It's just whether or not this Ilicic is going to be any good. So I'll probably start my weekend league today whilst you're watching this, like on the Friday. Get a few games under my belt, probably with this team. Making early adjustments of bringing Fred off for Axel Witsel. And then later on I can bring Alan off for Tagliafico or something like that if we want to. And then knowing that I've also got Thomas Muller and Ryan Kent and Adama that I can bring on for Ilicic, Douglas Costa, whoever's getting tired, whoever's not performing. And I think we'll probably be able to get through the first few games like that. But my main aim is to hopefully use Johnathan. Whether or not that is this week or next week, I do want to use him. He's an interesting player to me. 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. But then again, with Ligue 1 TOTS coming out. I might get hooked on one of those players and we might be able to afford him and link him to Neymar. You never know, do you? So I don't know how the team's going to change from here. But quite an interesting episode nonetheless, with lots of team changes going on. Squad right now is this right here. This is how we are going to attempt the weekend league for this moment in time. Weak links being probably Alexandro and Fred and Ilicic. All right, everything else looks super solid. Hopefully we can get another good result under our belts this week. That's going to be the end of the episode, boys. Do me a favor. That was a non-gameplay episode because you know the next few days are probably going to be gameplay heavy, as well as team changes and SBCs and all of that good stuff. But yeah, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. Shooting for 3,000 likes. Can you make that happen? I think you can. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Come follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check those links out there down below, as you know. And everyone, I hope you have a lovely day. Stay safe and stay healthy. Stay playing games and all of that good stuff. I'll catch you tomorrow with another video. Peace.